Now to the Middle East, where the United States has been pushing to create a three-way pact with Saudi Arabia and Israel in a bid to end the war in Gaza.
But experts say many obstacles stand in the way of any potential deal. Joining us now to talk more about this is Anna Schecter. She is a senior producer in the NBC News Investigations Unit. Anna, good to have you with us. We know you have an exclusive report about this U.S. push to try and normalize relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. Walk us through what's been happening behind the scenes to try and make some sort of deal happen.
It's great to be with you, Savannah and Joe. There's been a flurry of diplomacy behind the scenes, behind the open rhetoric. For example, yesterday Netanyahu said there's absolutely no two-state solution on the horizon. But behind that, there are Israeli diplomats and politicians working with American diplomats and even businessmen who are really pushing for this deal, and Saudi Arabia wants the deal. And so there have been a series of trips to Al Ula in western Saudi Arabia, where Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, is hosting people to discuss these trips. So that includes a delegation of the Senate Intelligence Committee and also a private meeting with Senator Lindsey Graham, who's been pushing for a deal like this for some time now. It's actually not brand new. This has been a few years in the making, and there's been an effort to build on the Abraham Accords that established normalized relations between the UAE and Israel. And now there's this potential to create an architecture for Saudi normalization with U.S. and also create a framework for the end of the war that accounts for some kind of Palestinian sovereignty.
Anna, Saudi Arabia says it would be willing to normalize relations with Israel if a Palestinian state is created. But I mean, just yesterday, we heard Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu come out and totally outright dismiss that. I mean, clearly, this is a huge obstacle between the sides. Is it something that can be overcome?
Well, this is a big negotiation, and so all sides are taking their hardest stance, particularly Israel, saying no two-state solution. And part of that is politics. Just last week, there was a poll that showed that the majority of Israelis are not ready for that. They're not ready for a ceasefire and an immediate two-state solution. And so Netanyahu is saying that in part because he feels he has to. But behind the scenes, there have been discussions about some kind of language. Maybe it's not exactly two-state, but it's enough Palestinian governance over Gaza and enough of a framework for a pathway for Palestinian political sovereignty where a Palestinian body oversees Gaza and has control over civil affairs. There's hope that other Gulf states and Arab states, including Egypt, would provide boots on the ground. And someone told me the other day that it was like four-way chess. It's so complex to have every single party involved get something out of it and get enough to actually sign on to the deal.
I mean, clearly a two-state solution is a huge obstacle here, but what are some of the other obstacles complicating a potential pact?
Well, on the American side, there are some issues about Saudi demands potentially, although there's real desire from both of those two countries to make this happen. It would be a political win for Biden. MBS clearly wants to do it under the right conditions. The main place where things are stuck are in Israel, and that's primarily due to this right-wing government under Benjamin Netanyahu. But even though he's saying publicly no two-state solution, there are conversations happening, and you never know in the Middle East. You probably wouldn't have guessed that the Abraham Accords would have been signed, and so I would say that never say never. There's enough momentum that these talks are continuing to stay alive, at least for the moment.
All right, Anna Schecter, thank you very much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.